Was a Wednesday. I was I went to the shopping to lunch, and and then I was leaving the shopping. I was using like normal clothes, like a shirt and a hooded sweater, just that, simple and normal. I remember that it was a time that was quite raining, but I remember that my mother, before this hiking that I was doing to go to the shopping, that was a couple of hours to go to the shopping, to actually walk to the shopping, And I remember that my mom said, "You want a sweater to properly to the rain?" And I said, "No, it's not necessary, If something happens, I go to a place that the rain can beat me, then I'm safe, And then she says, "Okay," and then I just was walking, and then when I was leaving the shopping, because I walked 2 hours to go to the shopping, and when I was walking more 2 hours to go to home again, I was going to home, start raining a little bit more, a little bit more, but a raining that you feel like don't change that much. You feel like, okay, this is a good raining, because you feel like, oh, it's like more, it's not the rain that's you can just walk normally without problem, but a couple of minutes more, start raining a little bit more, and I was like trying 30% of the path that I needed to do to go home. I think I was like 30% or 35, and start learning a little bit. For the most of the people in that part, the most of the people was not good. The most of the people probably in that situation, they probably are in the safe place, But me, that the majority of times don't have a brain, just walking in the normal way, Walk a couple of minutes more. Okay, was raining and that specific time was raining so much more than it's supposed. It was like don't make any sense. I was walking, I just didn't want to just found a place to be there and wait for to the rain just stops, And then the more I walk, then the rain was worse. And you can understand that if it was worse and I was walking for 2 hours, and when it starts raining a little bit more, like I was like 35 or 40%, the 60% was raining so much more, And remember that was a time that's raining a lot, that I feel like, okay, I feel like I'm wet, because you feel like you have the front of your pants wet, your shoes wet, especially this part of the body, because the raining was like that, And my back was not so much wet, especially my pants, it was not that wet, It's quite strange, but was not. And I was walking, and it was just worse. I didn't know. I think I wanted to do just was like a challenge for me. I say for myself, okay, I will do that, even if it's hard, if it's cold, even if it's have a lot of wine. It's quite dangerous, maybe dangerous. I think not that dangerous, but was not a normal situation that a normal guy passing their life is like weird, But I remember that the last 30% or something like that was probably the most difficult, because it was so much wine and you are wet, a lot of wet, like 90%. You just become. I remember that I felt a lot of cold, a lot of cold. The wine was quite strange. I feel like quite alone to go there, to my home. It was difficult, but the things just get worse, because because my home is here, and I was like, the shopping was there, and then I was like here, and then I needed to go down. I needed to go down like in a specific path to do that, you know. And then I go down this specific path, and then this path, the earth was wet. Then was like, I don't remember the name, but when we are in a park of, I think it's water park, I don't know, like in the summer that everybody goes because like have a lot of different pools, you know, and you have this thing like, you know this specific thing. To go, I was here, and that's my home. To do that is a specific path, because the earth was wet. I was like, was this quite the same, you know? Then I was here, and for a little bit happened that, and it stopped, and you know, to just go down everything that I needed to go down to get home, you know. Was difficult. I get a lot of messy when you have like earth in your fucking hand, you know. Your clothes are messy. It's not messy. I didn't remember the name. But you can understand that I learned the harder way this lesson. Because I remember a lot of times that I didn't have the sweater to proper to use the rain. But okay, I was like a couple of wet, but that time was fucking wet. It was like the time that I was in the rain. That was the most difficult thing I passed in like my entire life, you know. If you want more videos like that, I give you a lot of value, and just subscribe and give me a like. Let's go to the video for you learn all of these things. Okay, let's start with the because this video is for understand how you need to learn lessons. And first, about the hard lesson that you learn, you have the guy that's, if don't learn the easy way, that is the easy way, you know, he learned the hard way. And the hard way, for example, you are driving a car like 300 kilometers per hour. It's dangerous. You know for a fact this is dangerous. Was not supposed to do that. You know for a fact. You know, I don't need to tell you. And for you to learn this lesson the hard way, what probably will happen? He swerves a little, tears up the car a little, and you almost die. Yeah, it's like you are in the car like 300 per hour, and just happened that you are like, you know, what's dangerous. This is how you learn the lesson the hard way. You know, it's like a little bit more, you probably will die, or you'll have serious problems. You know, like quite that's how you will learn in the hard way. You know, it's like I'm in the rain, and I have the sweater properly to be in the rain, and learn a little and rain a little bit, but I just go to a safe place, and that's a little bit in the hard way, you know. And that's how you learn in the hard way. Sometimes people just learn in the hard way because sometimes we forgot, especially men, we just forgot, and maybe when it is the hard way, you understand, okay bro, that happened. Because when it is the easy way, you are just, what could happen? But when it happens actually something, you feel like, okay, yes, I need to take more serious. And when it's raining, I need to actually take some sweater properly to be in the rain, you know, because if didn't have a safe place, I probably will be quite wet, you know. And this is what happens with that story that I talked in the beginning. But you know that my story was not, I just learned the hard way. I actually learned the lesson in the next level that the majority of people never is the think the majority of people, like, they learn more in the easy or in the hard, but the majority of people don't learn, you know. It's quite it's not impossible. Probably we'll have something like one time or. But okay, you understand that we have, or if you don't learn the easy way, you actually learn the hard way. You know, if you understand it's not supposed to. You drive a car 300 kilometers per hour and tears a little, and you almost die. Like you are zzz, like you are, and you feel oh, you know, it's quite dangerous. You learn that in the hard way. Not the easy. You learn the hard way. Okay, right now you are quite with not trauma probably, or maybe with, or you are like, okay, this danger I need to take it more serious. That's if I didn't be with attention in that time, probably wouldn't not happen like that. We're like, you know, you are quite afraid right now because you learn that in a hard way. But I have some people that even that this happen, they wouldn't learn. They wouldn't, and that's the same thing that happened with the thing with the rain, you know. And the thing is, if you don't learn the hard way, you learn in another way. If you don't learn in the hard way, you learn in the harder way. For example, you are driving a car, like 2, 3, 4 kilometers per hour. For you learn for you learn that it's bad you drive the car so faster, like 3 to 400 kilometers per hour. What needs happens? Drops a little, the car crashes, the car is completely destroyed. And if it's a car that you are driving like 2, 3, 400 kilometers per hour, you know that the car is not cheap. It's fucking expensive. Probably like 50,000. One like a Porsche. It's not cheap. It's not like 10,000 car. No. The car is completely destroyed and the guy almost dies. Almost die. Loses arm and a leg. This guy learned this fucking lesson in the harder way. And if this guy with this situation didn't learn, this guy's a psychopath. That's the only thing. This guy, they have mental problems, you know. The majority of people, like I think 100% of the people that are watching this video, if they didn't learn in the hard way, they would learn in a harder way. If you lose an arm and a leg for that, you don't will do that. Probably you can't right now because you don't have a leg, but you wouldn't do this again. You wouldn't. I promise, you wouldn't. The truth is, you wouldn't do this again. Of course you wouldn't. You are not stupid, you know. You are not stupid, but the best way was just like, you learn the easy way that, okay, I don't will do. But have another guy that is the hard, but have another people that's the harder. And what happens with my situation that in the beginning, the story that I show for you, I learned that shit in the harder way. I was a little bit wet. No. I was fucking like almost 100% wet for hours, like just walking. I was quite stupid because the only thing that the thing is, because I have a lot of places to be in a safe place to be safe, to don't be wet, but I was quite stupid that I just don't give a shit, you know. But I learned that shit in a harder way, and then and right now I almost understand. Okay, a time again that I will go and could be would be rain or could rain, I will pick up a properly sweater to use in the rain to that shit don't happen again. Because I didn't learn that shit in the hard. I learned the harder right now. That shit is in my mind, because I just remember I'm just like fuck, But I was quite stupid because even if I didn't have the proper sweater to use in the rain, I had some safe places to be, but I was quite stupid, It's like just like don't make any fucking sense what I did, but I learned that shit in a harder way. Beyond, I just learned that shit in a harder way, and you understand that. But exists another way, and you probably know what's the best way to learn lessons. And it's just like the best way to learn lessons is learn in the smart way. Learn with the mistakes of others. It's like the easy is the smart way, because you know that has some people that they drive the car like for 300 to 400 kilometers per hour. They crash the car. They almost die. Why you don't? The smart guy learn with the other people, the mistakes, that lesson. That's the best way. But sometimes I think especially men, we just like don't give a shit, and we just understand when you pass for that hard or harder lesson, harder way to learn. But the best way, and I have a lot of things that I learn a lot. I can't say exactly, but I know that have a lot of things that I learn in the easy way. It's just I didn't need to pass to the moment to understand that lesson. Some guys say, okay, don't do that, no. I learn with the mistakes of others. And that's actually the best way. But I understand that I have lessons that you will need to learn in the hard way. The majority of people will in the hard way. For you learning the hard way, like me, it's quite difficult, It's quite more difficult, but you probably learn things in the hard way. Maybe things in the harder. Quite younger, probably you never learn anything in a harder way. It's like the hard is like the next level, It's like the next level. But I learned that in a harder way. Was quite stupid. Don't make any sense. But that's how right now I learned that lesson right now. I think I can think another way to learn that lesson. I learned in the harder way, and right now every time that's something that I understand, okay, will rain, and then I need to just use some sweat properly or go to a safe place, I will understand that. Because I have this fucking story in my mind, and my brain know exactly what he need to do, because I understand, okay, you needed to learn that lesson. It's not you need to do that because you don't learn in the easy way, you learn the harder way. Have exactly in your mind that is not to do the same. And some people will learn in the easy way, because when you are doing a business, or have some people that the majority of them, they learn with other people. Some people learn more in a harder way things in business. Some people, and I think that especially hard way, not harder, but especially. What the thing is, because when you learn in a easy way, you don't feel like. You feel like, okay, I can't do it, but you don't feel like, okay, what will happen if I do it? When you learn some hard, especially in business, in a hard way, you understand, okay, this is actually to don't do it, Okay, it's not to do this specific thing, And if you are a guy, the thing is, the best way, learn the majority of the lessons in the easy way. But I have some lesson that you learn in a hard way. It's quite good, you know, because it's like new lessons to teach some people about their lessons, you know. And maybe the thing is, if you learn lessons in hard, especially harder way, and maybe a quite hard way, it is maybe just because we are quite stupid, especially in the hard. If I learn that shit if I learn that I need to use sweat properly to the rain in a hard way, I probably am quite stupid to do that. I'm quite not smart. But right now I understand. Okay, I need to become a little bit more smart. You know, I need to become. You know, but I think another way is because I born in Belgium, and Belgium is a location that rains quite a lot. Then my brain just fucking like rain, and then I want to do that. You know, like my brain, you need to do. But I remember that was times that I was in school, I was leaving school, and in the rain, and then it was like 10 minutes walking to go to home, and I was quite wet a little bit because I like raining, but that time that's probably I learned the hard way. That's the hard way that I was learning, but the hard way I didn't give a shit. It was like 10 minutes. I was quite wet. I was like, it was not that wine. I was like, I don't give a shit. I like that. I feel good. But when I learned the hard way, I understand that okay, this is because I like rain, but that time was like next level to the point that I didn't like, you know, the point like, fuck, that was not easy, you know. And I think the majority of people will learn the easy way. They don't need the hard way. The majority of people, they are scared about rain. The majority of people just learn the easy way. That okay, they never pass to that. Or if it's raining, they go to safe place and that's it. I learned the harder way. If I didn't learn the hard way, probably I will do that same mistake again. That's the same thing again and again and again because. And probably this can happen again because if I understand, okay, we'll run a fucking lot, okay. But if it's like, okay, yeah, I'm just walking 5 minutes, not 2 hours because the walk is quite 2 hours. I'm walking 5 minutes, okay, it's raining quite a lot, but not that much. I'm quite wet, it's like 5 minutes, I'm home in 5 minutes, you know, I don't give a shit. But the situation that I was quite in the mountain, like was just like next level. Then what? This is why I learned this in the harder way, you know. I was alone. I think if I had a friend there, my friend will understand. He is not stupid, and we'll understand. Okay, let's go to a safe place. I think this just happened because I was alone, you know, and maybe I became. Be a bit more scared because I was alone, you know, because I remember that was the time, you know, it was the time, this was so much wine, then I went to walk to here, and the wine just make that. I was just like, you know, bro, and when you're in the mount, a lot of noises, you quite become scared, you know. I become a fuck ton of scared in that situation. It was not what the fuck, bro. It was not. Well, the thing is, I learned the harder way, you know. But I can't remember every moment how it was difficult. Like, was like that time I don't give a shit about. Okay, my shoes are 100% wet. I don't give a shit in that time. Or I just like, okay, the thing is, it was raining so a lot that I don't give a shit when I was passing the city a couple of feet and people look at me. I think the thing is because I was wet. It was so wet that you know when you are wet that your clothes become a little bit more dark. You know, it's like a little bit like you are a gray and become a gray more dark. You know, was so rainy that. Looks like okay that's normal, you know. People look at me and it's not normal. It's like, okay, you're a little bit wet, but I was like in my mind, I was like, I think I can I will put a picture right now how I was, and you can see that I look like quite normal, you know, quite nothing happens, you know. But I think if you can see, look at my face, you can see that I'm quite traumatized. I'm actually quite traumatized about that, and that's it. You need to you need to understand that you use some lessons that you'll just don't be stupid to learn in the hard. Just be stupid to the point that you learn don't be stupid to learn the harder, but don't have that much problem you learning the hard, but don't be so stupid like me to learn the harder way, you know. It's like to learn the I think the majority of people in the world never will learn their lesson in the hard. The thing is, I think the only reason why I learned that shit in the harder was because I like rain. But for example, that's the point I like rain. Okay, I actually like rain, a lot of rain. That's the point that I like rain. But the point was like another reasons that was so much here that I didn't like that, you know. It's like, okay, you like a little bit rain for some people, but when it's a lot, they don't like. Me, when it's raining a lot, I quite like, but I think the another reason why I learned so much the hard way was just because it was not a walk that was like 5 minutes. Because if it was that, if it was worse than that, but just was 5 minutes of walk and then I was in home, I don't give a shit. But the reason that was like I was walking 2 hours and like especially another 1 hour, you know, because the first hour were quite more easy, but the last hour so much more difficult, and it's because it's an hour. It was just like so much more. I don't know if I can be traumatized, but maybe I'm quite traumatized. But I remember, but it's so interesting how I don't know if you can understand, but it was so interesting because I remember what the fuck I was doing that time. I remember that I passed to a specific place that was a lot of people together. Like I think they will use metro, like something, and I just passed. Like I was like quite traumatized. You can see my face, and I was like walking. Yes, it's raining a lot. I need to go home. That's my mission. But a normal guy just will be in that place because it's safe, but I didn't. Yes, my mind was quite stupid, but I think the other video that I talk about that story, even if I learned the hard way, quite good things happened because I quite became a little bit more grateful in all the things that I talk about. I think in the video, you need sacrificing to become successful. Or no, it's how pain and suffering improved my life. You know, I think was the title. But that's the thing that I want you to learn, is that exists. You will learn the smart way. That is the easy. We learn with another people that make the same mistake and understand. Okay, so suppose I make the same mistake. That's the first. That's the first. That's the second is the hard. That's okay. If you learn something as the hard, yes. But if you learn the hard, you are quite stupid, you know. But maybe it could happen. But that's the 3 ways to learn lessons. The majority of people focus on learning lessons. I think maybe some hard lessons is not that bad, but focusing on learning lessons is the easy way because that's the way. It's in a smart way. I think that's one of the best ways. That's the best way. You know for a fact it's the best way. And with the same situation, you learn that shit in the easy way. You didn't need to pass for the, you know that for a fact. But that's the thing that I want to teach you in that video. And that's it. If you like this video, if this will actually help you, give you a lot of value, give me a like, subscribe, and that's it.